Exploring the link between type 1 diabetes and depression. Have you ever wondered if there is a connection between type 1 diabetes and depression? It turns out, there might be. Researchers have found that individuals with type 1 diabetes are at a higher risk of developing depression compared to those without the condition. But why is this the case? One possible reason is the constant management and monitoring that comes with living with type 1 diabetes. The daily burden of monitoring blood sugar levels, administering insulin injections, and keeping a strict diet can take a toll on a person's mental health. At the very least, over time it becomes very exhausting. Furthermore, the physiological effects of diabetes can also contribute to depressive symptoms. Fluctuating blood sugar levels can lead to feelings of fatigue, irritability, and low mood. Additionally, the stress associated with managing the condition can increase the risk of developing depression. It's important to address both the physical and mental aspects of living with type 1 diabetes. Seeking support from healthcare professionals, such as endocrinologists and psychologists, can be beneficial. Psychologists can provide coping strategies and cognitive behavioral therapy to help manage the emotional impact of diabetes. This is a medical condition. Don't waste time feeling self-conscious about seeking help. Type 1 diabetes and depression can be linked in several ways, both biologically and psychosocially. It's important to note that while there is a correlation between the two conditions, it does not necessarily imply a direct cause and effect relationship. Here are some ways in which type 1 diabetes and depression may be connected. Let's get into more detail, but first, please hit the subscribe and the like button to help support this channel. We very much appreciate your support. Biological factors. Both type 1 diabetes and depression are associated with disruptions in certain biological processes and neurotransmitter systems. For example, fluctuations in blood sugar levels in individuals with type 1 diabetes can affect mood and cognitive function. Personally, whenever I experienced a low blood sugar episode, even if I avoided a seizure, I felt a sense of exhaustion. In plain language, I can relate to this as my career was in high-stress sales. Though, even during college my type 1 diabetes was in the back of my mind 24 hours a day. I was also thinking about my schedule so as not to miss a meal. I had many commitments and was always on the go. But, the idea of the possible effects on my organs due to diabetes was always top of mind. My weight was thankfully never a problem. Now I realized I had to quit smoking ASAP. It took a couple of years, but I talked myself into it and never looked back. Psychosocial factors. Managing type 1 diabetes requires significant lifestyle adjustments, including monitoring blood sugar levels, administering insulin, and adhering to a specific diet and exercise regimen. The constant vigilance and potential for complications can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and feelings of being overwhelmed, which are known risk factors for depression. Stress and coping. The stress associated with managing a chronic illness like type 1 diabetes can impact mental health. People with diabetes may experience stress related to blood sugar fluctuations, fear of complications, financial strain from medical expenses, and social challenges. Coping with these stressors can sometimes contribute to the development of depression. Though at times I would get irritated with the constant thinking about planning every minute of my day, I never got to the point of depression. I simply cut way back to near zero consumption of alcohol and committed to joining a gym. I found exercise was a great way to get rid of the blues. I never realized at the time there were groups I could join to get encouragement. I just relied on my doctors and loved ones. Today, with the internet and many associations that are available to help coach a new diabetic, I would strongly recommend taking advantage of these opportunities. I simply relied on my military training to push me through this situation. I would much rather have had these support groups to help me had I known they were available. It's important to recognize that the relationship between type 1 diabetes and depression is complex and multifaceted. Therapists and support groups can be beneficial. We sincerely hope this information has been informative for you. We look forward to meeting with you again soon. Thanks for watching.